Alright guys, we're here for the TNA Impact review and reactions for 5/17/16, and it's been quite a show, I would say. So this episode, the started off is Jeff Hardy. Well, actually, was the imposter Willow, and I'm looking at him, and my thoughts on this is it's got to be Matt Hardy, Spud behind the Willows. Well, this first one comes out too tall to be Spud, and he was too skinny to be Matt Hardy. Well, him and Jeff go at it. They fight. Well, first the dude's on the mic, and it was weird. They had an okay match. Jeff Hardy wins with a nasty looking twist of fate, and so he's about to unveil who the Willow is. I would really like to know who that Willow was. I think he could probably be a good wrestler if he would not do the Willow gimmick anymore. So then another Willow comes out. Too big, too tall to be Matt Hardy. Still not. It was buff. He was too buff to be Matt Hardy. Then the third one comes out. That's Matt Hardy. And I liked the segment all the way up until Matt Hardy part. I knew it was going to be Matt Hardy. I liked the execution and everything of it. I just didn't like Matt Hardy's voice. If he would have just talked normal and kind of didn't sound so like he was trying too hard to be mean and scary, I think that would have been a lot better. But it ends up Matt Hardy beats the shit out of him. All three will beat. They all beat the shit out of him. And it turns out Slammiversary, Full Metal Mayhem. I like that part. But I was like, with that whole segment. That's just, Well, before we go to commercial break, we see Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb's finally making her TNA debut. Thank God. But she says that if Velvet Sky loses her match tonight, she's fired by Velvet. I really don't even want her in WWE because I have not enjoyed her work since the Beautiful People, the first Beautiful People, not when they remade a couple years, like last year or the year before that. The ones it was first with Kip James, then they had Madison Rain. Then after that, I didn't like it anymore. But that's the last time I liked Velvet Sky's work. So she's probably going to WWE because her husband, boyfriend, Bubba Ray's in WWE. That's probably going to happen. But enough of that. This is TNA. So the first match obviously was Sienna versus Velvet Sky. And boy, is Sienna a good addition or not. Along with Cherry Bomb, with Maria, Gail Kim, Jade, and Marty Bell. I think they need to add maybe one. Well, Rosemary. They need to add maybe 1 to 2 more knockouts, and the roster would be really, really good, stacked at that point. But Sienna wins with her nasty looking finisher, and bye bye Velvet Sky. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about it. See, she'll probably be in NXT in a couple months, not being that great as she was not that great in the last couple years in TNA. But you know what? Whatever, right? Whatever. So. Well, actually, the first part of the show, what I get back to, Bobby Lashley and Drew Galloway did fight, and well, they had to be separated. And Chris Melendez was back there, and I haven't seen Chris Melendez in a while. Where has he been? Last time we saw this Joker, it was when they were on Destination America last year. So it was cool to see him back there. So Dixie Carter and Jimmy Borash is interviewing Dixie Carter, and she says that tonight's match will now be a lumberjack match to keep this match in line. Well, I don't think he's going to keep the match in line. I think he's going to be complete chaos, but that sounds great. So the next match was kind of funny, to be honest. It was Mike Bennett talking about how he's going to be the longest reigning TNA champion of all time. He wants to be a Hall of Famer. And he wants to beat a Hall of Famer. And I'm thinking to myself, there's nobody left in TNA that's a Hall of Famer unless you bring Kurt Angle back in. Sting's not. He's probably done wrestling forever. The Dudleys are gone. So, yeah. Who else you got? And Jeff Jarrett. So, yeah. Earl Hebner comes out. And I forgot he was in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. But, Mike Bennett wants to face Earl Hebner, and it was kind of funny because the match starts like he hit, like, it was funny. So the match starts after like a shit ton of craziness, like fight me. He pushes Earl Hebner gets pissed off, just pushes Mike Bennett. I'm like, you dumb. And then Earl Stifler rings the bell, and Mike Bennett just clocks him right in the face. 1, 2, and Earl Hebner kicks out, and I'm thinking, what? That's when I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that. And it's typical heel heat. Now, since this is TNA, and since there's so much TNA headers, the TNA headers all thought that was shit. But if WWE would have done something like that, oh, praise God, that's the best thing they ever saw in their life. So that's retarded. The segment was funny. Earl Hebner hits Mike Bennett in the Family Jewels. Maria comes in, gets involved. Mike Bennett turns it around and wins, basically. So he just wanted to be a Hall of Famer. Well, EC3 comes out. And Mike Bennett says he's got a match tonight. And here's Tyrus, knocks him out, and it's the last man standing match. So this match was freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. Like, up to this, we didn't have so much of a great matches. It was just great, quick stuff. This match was so awesome. It was great. So, Mike Bennett set the match. Thank you, Mike Bennett. He goes from steel cage to last man standing. I like it. Great job. But, so the match was good, like I said. Tyrus brings in so many chairs. He hits the slam on EC3 to the chair. EC3's trying to fight back as much as he can. Then Tyrus hits that spike, right? Thingy. Sends EC3 to the outside. Well, EC3's able to come back in, right? And sets up 2 steel chairs and tries to hit the 1%er through the 2 steel chairs. Well, Tyrus catches him, hits him with a sidewalk slam through those chairs, and one bends. This was nasty looking. Oh, right? It was weird looking shape after that. And he was like, oh, man, that's all I got to say about that. But then, Tyrus brought in a table as well, and it sets EC3, lays EC3 on the table, and was probably about to splash his out through the table. EC3 gets up, powerbomb through the table, and the way Tyrus hit the table, he's so big, he didn't even have to hit the table. All he did was hit the table. It bent, made this weird looking way, and oh my God, did it look like it hurt. Oh my God. But Tyrus gets up. I'm like, oh God, why you gotta get up? So they fight on to the outside, and Tyrus hits that, kind of, the Big E's move, the big ending. He hits that on this ramp. EC3 gets up again, and Tyrus is getting the steel guardrail, sets it up from the table, from the ring apron to the floor, and is trying to put EC3 to it. Well, EC3 hit a Samoan drop, picks up Tyrus, Samoan drop through the guardrail, which was awesome, and then gets the steel steps, throws that on top of Tyrus, brings in a steel chair, and is repeatedly beating the shit out of Tyrus. And then stands on top of this steel steps so Tyrus can't get up. Ends up being a 10 count, and that was that match. That match was great. I mean, that match was just awesome. So the next match, moving on to an X Division match. I love when we have the X Division on the show. It's just always great to see. Now that they've adding on likes of Caleb Conley, which if you go check out his Evolve stuff or his Paragon Pro stuff, the dude's a stud. They bring in Marche Rocket. Go check out his stuff in Resistance Pro. He's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. And then, I don't know if Pepper Parks will be in the X Division or not. And then today they re-signed Tigre Uno to add on to what they already have with Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, DJZ. Who, by the way, DJZ has been working on his wrestling skills, and he was already good before this, and now he's just so much better. He is awesome. So the match is a pretty good X Division match. I would have to say it's been, as of late, X Division has kind of been stepping up his game, and I've liked that a little. I've liked that, But the match was good. So, freaking Trevor Lee kicked the shit out of DJZ's head like a field goal. Just poked him right through the post. It was insane. And then, well, here comes Eddie Edwards. It hits that cutter thing he does from the top rope. And Andrew Everett still kicks out. Well, here, out of nowhere, Trevor Lee is, after kicking Eddie Edwards with a kick, and then Andrew Everett was about to win, But here comes DJZ out of completely nowhere, comes flying through the turnbuckle to the outside with an amazing suicide dive. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then here comes, which that caused, with the kick caused Eddie Edwards to be down, and so did this dive with Trevor Lee and DJZ going down. So here comes Andrew Everett. It's about to do a look like a moonsault or a whatever off the top, and Eddie Edwards gets the boots up, and he hits, and he falls back and goes straight on top of his head. I was like, oh, the fall. He sold that great. Like he sold that like a champ. And then here comes DJZ, hits a nasty DDT. Eddie Edwards goes flying through the ropes with a suicide dive. 1, 2, 3. DJZ and Eddie Edwards win. Like I said, I'm glad they're bringing back the X Division. I'm glad they're doing something with the X Division itself. Like I said, like so Trevor Lee, Caleb Conley, Marche Rocket, what they already have, I think it'll be good in a couple months. I think it's going to be a solid X Division roster. So, yeah. Alright, so the next thing we had was Dummy. Yeah, Eli Drake's new show. That's just a fact of life. Was pretty funny tonight. Again, he was roasting on some crowd. People in the crowd. I'd love it. I wish TNA would make a Eli Drake t-shirt. Even though I have no money currently right now. I would try to find a way to buy it, because I think that would be pretty funny. But, Bram comes out, and they get into it. They start fighting. But Eli Drake saying, "You want me to cash it?" Well, you're not. I'm not cashing it in tonight. And he runs his tail out of here. Well, Bram said, "Anytime I'm gonna cash it in, I'm right here." I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I like this rivalry. Now, I thought EY going away, I didn't know what I was gonna expect from Bram, and I think he stepped up. He's actually been a fan favorite since he's left EY, and I think that's pretty cool. In Eli Drake is probably one of the most over guys in TNA. I don't know who I want to win this King of the Mountain Championship. I don't know. It's been pretty interesting so far. But next week they announced that. Well, Mike Ben announced that next week EC3's opponent in the Road to Redemption is the guy who took the world title from him, Matt Hardy, and he's gonna make him pin or tap. Maybe he'll get the rematch. I'm hoping it happens in the Slammiversary. So next week we get Grado versus Al Snow. I'm just glad to see Grado back. I'm a fan of Grado. If they would actually let him wrestle good like he does in UK, it'd be great. Matt Hardy, EC3 again, which should probably be an alright match. If EC3 continues to wrestle like he has on this Road to Redemption, it's going to be a really good match. But it depends on how Matt Hardy's going to wrestle. So then we have an Ultimate X match. I'm trying to figure out why. We did have these great 4 wrestlers in here. Unless they're going to bring in another X Division person to have the match. Normally I think there's like, there's been usually 4. But I'm feeling like we should have another person thrown into the mix. I think it'd be great. Decision. I'd just like to know the meaning why they're having an Ultimate X match. Because I feel like the way the rivalry is going now, I think this Ultimate X match should be at Slammiversary. But when the Slammiversary is announced, and next week happens, maybe we'll understand the Ultimate X, why they're having the Ultimate X match, I guess. So the main event is next. Like I said, if you don't know, I do try to do these as a segment happens, or halfway through the show I start, and it goes segment by segment. So we have the World Championship match next, which is Drew Galloway, Bobby Lashley in the Lumberjack match. Wow, the main event was great. That was really enjoyable. I mean, that was good. So the match itself was actually pretty good. It was brutal. They were beating the shit out of each other. I mean, at one point, Bobby Lashley hits one of the nastiest looking spinebuster powerbomb chokeslams ever. I mean, he pulls him way back. I mean, just like way back, straight down to the mat. I mean, insane. And then Drew Galloway hits the Claymore, hits a Future Shock DDT. Bobby Lashley's kicking out everything. Drew Galloway's kicking out everything. we didn't really see the Lumberjacks got involved. They didn't really attack anybody like you see in a normal Lumberjack match until the end. And Galloway gets pulled out, and the heels just beat the shit out of Galloway, which stops the match, obviously. So here comes all the faces. The complete chaos. Like I said, just complete chaos. And so there was so many freaking dives. There was, like I said, so many freaking dives. I think Trevor Lee flies off. No, I think it was DJZ. DJZ or Trevor Lee flies the top first. And then here comes my favorite, Robbie E. Here comes the boom. He takes the dive from the top. Then freaking they're fighting over. Here comes Eddie Edwards to take a fly off the top. Like I said, guys, they were going insane. And oh my gosh, Andrew Everett stops him. Well, Eddie Edwards turns it around, superplex into the crowd of people. It was insane. Then you come back into the ring, and here's Bram and Bobby Lashley. Bram hits Lashley with a knee, right, like a standing knee strike. And then here comes Jeff Hardy, hits a twist of fate on Eli Drake. Then here comes Mike Bennett. Tells EC3 to come on, bring it on, right? EC3 runs at him. He gets scared. Lashley hits EC3 with a massive spear. Drew Galloway, waiting on Lashley to come on, hits him with a Claymore kick. Everybody's back on the outside. Here comes Drew with a standing flip. Lands on everybody. Lands on his feet. Now, that's the way you end the show. If you listen to the whole thing, I had one, well, I'd say two things that I kind of did like, which was the Knockouts match. Well, it's because it's involving Velvet Sky, and I just don't personally like Velvet Sky. And then the first thing with Matt Hardy, it was alright. Which Matt Hardy did get involved in the main event too. He pulled Jeff Hardy out of the way after he hit a twist of fate on Eli Drake. So, like I said, great show. It was a great show, I think. All in all, it was a good show. Like I said, the Matt Hardy thing could have been a little bit better, but I think it kind of tuned a lot of people out of the show with the Matt Hardy segment. I had to say that. If the Matt Hardy segment wasn't on the show, I'm pretty sure everybody would stay through the whole thing, and they really enjoyed it. Like, really enjoyed it. So, TNA was great tonight. I really enjoyed it. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Like, subscribe, and comment. I am out. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow's our Lucha Underground review, and that's going to be insane too, so I cannot wait. It's going to be crazy.